Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Talking Movies. My name is Josh.
I'm Randall.
I'm Clay.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're talking about Chris's pick this week. This is from 1996, the Peter Jackson's The Frighteners.
When your number's up, that's it.
Frank, we got problems. All these murders that have been going on in Fairwater, they're gonna pin them on you.
From Universal Pictures and Robert Zemeckis.
You're next, pal.
And acclaimed director Peter Jackson.
We don't stop till the screaming starts, you dig?
The Frighteners.
Chris, what is this movie about?
I don't know where to start. Michael J. Fox plays a guy that sees ghosts, and he's like a ghost hunter. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but
it's kind of a Ghostbusters-y thing,
yeah.
But he's kind of a scammer.
Yeah, so
I felt like televangelist.
Yeah, it's definitely got a weird little angle there, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he meets this chick and husband, and the husband dies, and he just got this weird in with this chick that I'm not even quite sure where the connection came from, the serial killer guy and girlfriend's family. It's kind of loosely connected together. Maybe I missed something.
Isn't she like a journalist or something?
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I maybe missed.
It's paper thin, bro. It's not.
But yeah,
I've seen this movie a bunch of times, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's it's fun, not serious. Just whatever, good fun ride.
Yeah, this is
type of movie.
This is much more early Peter Jackson, like Dead Alive, Meet the Feebles.
Come on, Meet the Feebles.
Bad Taste. Peter
Taste.
Jackson.
Well, Jeffrey Combs was in it too.
Yeah, I've completely that was why it was on my watch list mainly. Because, I'd watched, of course I've seen Reanimator a few times, but I watched with Castle Freak and
Beyond.
Yeah, there's another one that I watched for the first time fairly recently. So I was just looking for other Jeffrey Combs stuff. I was like, Peter Jackson? Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't heard the movie before, but yeah. So he was why this was on my list, and I completely forgot he was in this movie. So
what about Sean Diddy Combs?
Who?
Sean Diddy Combs.
His brother, Sean.
His brother.
Yeah. So when he popped up on screen, I was like, oh, I completely forgot he was in this.
Yeah.
And he's just completely insane and unhinged as you would want him to be.
Uh-huh.
I watched this, I think maybe last year or a couple years ago for the first time, and I was like, this movie's pretty good. And then Jeffrey Combs shows up, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah. That's definitely where things get interesting.
It's also got Jake Busey in it, which is I'll take any Busey in my film.
Busey always has flavor. Yeah.
The brown haired chick, I'm sure nobody's shocked by this, man. She's so fucking pretty to me. Or at least in this film. But she looked like she reminded me of Margaret Qualley a little bit.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just like a little bit, like her or Andy McDowell a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But that plain brunette girl, that's my style. But
yeah, not shocked.
I like this movie, man. It's good. Michael J. Fox is cool in it. I like it feels like what it feels like to me is if you were to go, hey Randall, I need your help writing a film. And I'm like, cool, what kind of film are you writing? And you were like, a rom-com. This is what I would bring to the table. It's like I gotta have ghosts in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So
let's just throw Evil Dead in the blender.
Yeah. Let's do Evil Dead and then some Matthew McConaughey movie from 2004 mix it up, and then you get this. But I enjoy this movie, man. I think the effects are what they are because from the time they were made.
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie, man. It's a silly, fun movie. I was able to watch it with the wife. She enjoyed it. She says Ghostbusters. As soon as she said that, I was like, oh yeah, I see a lot of Ghostbusters in it. But I was thinking Beetlejuice.
That too.
I was definitely thinking Tim Burton
No, she said Beetlejuice. I thought Ghostbusters. My apologies. Sorry. She's the
Oh,
one that
okay.
She said Beetlejuice. I had that flipped around.
Well, yeah, I was as soon as it started, I was thinking, oh, this because we just watched Beetlejuice and new Beetlejuice, and I watched Edward Scissorhands and stuff recently, and
Nice.
then the music started, and I was like, oh, this definitely feels like Beetlejuice or like Tim Burton, and then it's like Danny Elfman.
Danny
Like,
Elfman,
oh,
right?
okay,
Yeah,
of course, yeah.
Didn't Rick Baker do some of the effects?
Did he? Maybe.
I think
might
so.
have
'Cause I
missed
made a
it.
comment on that
Savini
to
in there. What wasn't Tom Savini in there? Did I? No, maybe that was a movie.
Man,
That was Terrifier.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was Terrifier.
Terrifier was Terrifier.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Well, I figured y'all would talk
I know-
about it.
Well, no, Josh wouldn't care.
I
but
plan on it.
Yeah.
the 5 people watching this might not have seen it yet.
Well, y'all have all seen it, so I figured you'd talk spoilers
Yeah.
about it, but whatever.
Dude, I'm trying to find out if it was Rick Baker. I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking.
I like all the rolling. Like he's known for doing these rolling action sequences, right?
Okay.
Where like you can see the barrel as it's going down, and like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
And
Peter
every
Jackson.
time I watch a movie, Peter Jackson. Every time I watch one of his movies, I'm like, I can feel that a little bit because he follows stuff
Yeah.
around with the camera. And
It's a good point.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that stuff feels very, very Peter Jackson.
Yeah,
all the ghost sequences.
He's very animated. It feels like he took a lot of Sam Raimi and kind of like added his own thing to it. It's very animated, very like just like lots of movement and energy and humor, right?
So
Yeah.
yes, he was in the makeup department, by the way, Rick Baker.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, because a lot of it was CGI, but there was some practical.
Well, I saw his
elements,
name
too.
on the screen. Now that I'm like talking about it, I'm remembering. And I remember I pointed out to Chris, I was like, dang, dude, Danny Elfman, Peter Jackson, Rick Baker. I was like, that's a crazy lineup right there. And she was like, she didn't really understand Rick Baker until I told her why. And then she's like, oh, that makes sense. And then I was like, because she knows Danny Elfman and she knows Peter Jackson because she's a Lord of the Rings fan. So she knows Peter Jackson very well.
Well, I remember when I watched this, in recent past, I bought the Blu-ray from Randy's shop actually, and I watched all the special features and stuff. And this is '96, so this is pretty early CGI. But for its time, it was like pretty out there. Like
I think it looks cool still. Like it's dated, but I still enjoy the way it looks.
It's incredibly dated, but they're really like trying stuff in this movie. He worked really hard, and there was a long post process to create stuff for that time. So, and Jackson's always been like a very like interested in like the cutting edge, like developing the technology. Like we wouldn't have stuff like Lord of the Rings without him like figuring out some of these tools,
right? How to make the guys look like they're tiny little hobbits when they're standing next to another guy who's probably a similar height of them in real life.
Well, and all those armies, most of the giant armies in Lord of the Rings are all CGI. Like that was pretty new technology for its time.
Well, if you watch the Frighteners through a 95 lens or 96 or whatever you said it was, 96, you can tell that they were going out on a limb and doing some things that were I guess cutting edge is the right term, like just real new, and they were just trying to push the limits, push the boundaries of what you could accomplish with the technology that was available back then. And again, from 2024 perspective, it does look a little dated, but if you could just put yourself back there and go, dang, in the 90s, dude, this is crazy looking, because the ghosts all look really cool, the walls look really cool, that phantom, like the bad guy dude, that looks really rad. I thought the ghosts looked incredible for that. They look like a cartoon mixed in with real life. It felt Roger Rabbit-y a little bit at parts.
Oh yeah, well, you got Robert Zemeckis in there too. He's produced everything. Who did Roger Rabbit and
okay.
Nice.
He did Back to the Future too.
Oh,
so
nice.
There's your Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox connection.
What's his name with Jeffrey Combs reminded me so much of Doc Brown's character from Roger Rabbit.
Oh, sure.
Dude,
Yeah.
they were so similar, man. And I was like, dude, and Jeffrey Combs hamming it up. I love that dude. Like, dude, he's a terrible actor, and I love it, dude. I love it
He's
so much.
he's my favorite, by far my favorite part of this
Yeah.
movie, though.
Oh no, for sure.
He's
Like
so
for
much
sure. He's
when
so
you-
ridiculous.
I watched this with the whole family this
Nice.
weekend. I was like, this is just right. Like my daughter loved it.
I was gonna ask about Natalie. That was coming up. I was gonna ask you.
I was wearing my Evil Dead shirt around the house earlier, and she's like, "What is Evil Dead?" And I was like, "Well," it was like, this guy, his hand turns evil, so he has to cut it off. And she's like, "Wait, whoa. Like, can we watch this movie?" And I was like, "Maybe."
Yeah, she's getting there.
Yeah, my kids watch the old ones. They did. I wasn't gonna let them watch the newer one, but they like Army of Darkness a lot. That one's their jam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a cool one.
that one's fun. That's more like this very cartoony.
Now that I've watched this again, I want to let Charlie and Bricken watch this one with me. Bricken he's already like a little too mature for this stuff, but Charlie's gonna love it, dude. She's gonna love this stuff.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. When Jeffrey Combs rips his shirt off and he's got the
Bro,
I've got a lead vest.
Yeah.
And then later he pulls that off and he's got all those crazy scars and tattoos
stuff.
and shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's insane. And yeah, definitely the best part of the movie. Without him, this is, I mean, okay, but
Yeah.
but he definitely brings that extra of just flavor to it. That
I was thinking that the only person that, of course, I would say this, but the only other person I was thinking would be like Nick Cage could have pulled that off.
Oh, totally. Actually, no, I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
He's got that like total disregard for
whatever it is.
what's
he's
the
got
word?
it.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
like fearless, like is not afraid to look.
Yeah, go for it is in his. He's like, oh, I'll give it a try. Like, all right, this is awesome.
Right. No doubt. Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, I don't think Clay's gonna like this. And I was like, I don't even know if Chris is gonna like this. It's pretty silly and maybe a little too family friendly. There is some edginess to it in spots, but it's a little soft for the
Yeah, I mean,
the
I was-
fellas.
As Chris's kids get older, he'll like stuff like this way more because I didn't care
Yeah.
about this movie as much when I didn't have the kids that like I do now.
Yeah, and I mean, like I've thought about picking this a couple of times, and yeah, I mean, I knew it was kid friendly. I wasn't sure exactly how the teenager kid or younger kid. Like my daughter's not old enough for this yet. She's only 3, but you talk about Charlie and Natalie and them. Like, yeah, they're at the perfect age. So yeah, it's still fun enough and silly enough, but there's a few good just darker, scarier, creepier, things and sprinkled in throughout it.
Yeah. Plus a ghost actually fucks the mummy.
Yeah.
Randomly. My wife Tori was like, "Whoa." Okay.
That was weird.
He's just humping the sarcophagus. Like, all right.
I mean, my man didn't want blue balls.
Yeah, that one's a little weird part, but
No, but there's like weird, like random edgy things like that in the movie.
You get to see like 90s humor in this a little bit because it is dated in that degree as well. Like it's like, I mean, one thing I like about 90s movies is watching for their terrible jokes, but also the terrible clothing. Like I like the 90s technology, especially now that we're 30 years
It's all
removed
coming
from it.
back. It's all like all the kids think the 90s stuff is
It's
cool.
so weird, dude. It's so weird.
I mean, y'all were at my house. My son's wearing baggy pants with chains on them. Like
He's wearing the stuff that I literally sold in like 2006 from Hot Topic.
I know.
I had those
Like
exact
an
same pants.
ICP concert or something.
Yes, it looked like
Made all my hair fall out. Like I can't stand it.
Rickon just told me today that he wants.
jeans.
Did you really?
Yeah,
One of the big Jinkos with the like 100-inch bottoms, like.
No, I mean like you would just buy oversized
Parachute
jeans and then
pants.
cinch them down with a belt. I think I wore like 40 somethings and my waist was like 28 inches. Or some shit.
Yes.
Oh my god.
They were just all over the place.
I used to skateboard like that. I wore like 38s back when I had like a 28-inch waist. My friends were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I look awesome." And they're like, "You look like a fucking idiot." And I was like, an awesome fucking idiot, dude. Sorry, buddy.
I remember
Yeah,
when
I
this
never-
came out. It was a pretty big deal. I remember.
Yeah, I never had any like Jinkos or anything like that, but I definitely had a few chain wallets and
Well,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
dude, chain wallets are back. It's so.
I think we
strange.
all had a
I
chain
still
wallet,
got a
right?
chain wallet.
I used to work at a Taco Bell that was right in front of a smoke shop, and the guy that worked at the smoke shop was like 3 years older than me, but he thought it was cool because I was like, I was like a little badass kid, and so he would always give me like his store discount. So I had some of the most ridiculous looking jeans, dude. Like they had these big giant embroidered pictures on the back pocket, and the pockets were like big enough to put a fucking MacBook in, dude. They were like, they were huge, dude. It was so stupid, bro.
Yeah,
I would have been jealous of those for sure.
Oh, they were like $110 back then.
Yeah,
dude. Crazy.
Dude, how'd you feel about the Frighteners, Clay?
man, it's Peter Jackson.
Have you ever seen it before?
I feel like I have. Like as I was watching it, I was like, I remember this character. Maybe I remember not liking it when I was young. It came out the year I graduated high school, and it was pretty hyped up because all the CGI was like, oh my god, like, and people would tell me like, oh, I was really scared of the Death character. I remember like girls in my school would tell me that Death's really scary in it, and I watched it. I was like, yeah, I can see how people think that, but.
You were already in Hellraiser at that time.
there was some laughs. I had a couple yuck moments, and it's Peter Jackson. It was interesting. Yeah. I mean, I can't hate it, but it wasn't like I wasn't. It was,
Yeah. No, I had a feeling. You're not even like a Sam Raimi guy. Like you don't really like Evil Dead and stuff, right?
No, it's too. When it gets too silly, I'm like, and too cartoony. That's when I'm like, I'm out. Like I don't watch cartoons, but I do, and I just had this real weird phase where I was like, it's a cartoon. I'm not watching it. Like,
don't you watch anime?
I do. That's what I'm saying. Is like I had like an epiphany that I was being stupid. But
okay, I was making sure I understood what you were saying. I do
now, but I went through a period where I was just like, I will not watch a cartoon. Like I'm an adult, and adults don't watch cartoons.
Strictly hentai, though. That's all.
Hey, I'm not gonna front, bro. Hentai is pretty interesting sometimes, or so I hear, anyways.
I've heard interesting things about it,
but it's fucking weird, bro. Like I watch it simply out of like not watch it. I've seen it like, but I like willingly watched it.
We're just doing it. Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's the weirdest stuff, man. But I like this silly movie like this, man. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it as much as I did, to be honest with you. And also, not that it matters much, but they were referring to some lady in the movie, and her birthday was like my birthday, and I was like, cool. Nobody ever says March 10th in anything. Like I never hear that brought up ever, and so all of that was kind of it was just like, oh, cool, a little personal Easter egg right there. But
Yeah, it's interesting. And I never really made all the connections to Clay and his. I know he doesn't like Evil Dead and stuff like that, but I think, well, now that you've got Terrifier 3 under your belt, and I think you're officially off that train, I think I can make the connection to all these, silly comedic, cartoonish horror movies.
I think y'all see Terrifier differently than I do, but
I mean, definitely.
Yeah, I just don't see it cartoonish the way that you guys do, I think, but I don't want to get into that conversation really.
It's coming. The lid's gonna pop off.
Anyways, I think we probably discussed it, right?
Yeah, it was a good movie. Man. I had a fun time.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Dead Alive. I thought that just like changed my life.
Okay, I meant to ask. You like Dead Alive?
Yeah, I saw it. Oh god, like maybe 10 or 15 years ago, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" And that was when I really didn't pay attention to like who Peter Jackson was and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So It
And the
was
creepiest shit is happening behind you right now.
yeah. That's,
Phantoms roaming around back there. Death.
Looks like some fucking J horror movie or some like
So-
Shutter fucking Host 2 or something.
It
The Ring-
really
the
was
Ring
just a shadow with like eyes.
that's awesome. Stop the tape. Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Okay, I'm so kind of surprised you like Dead Alive though, because that
Yeah.
is so
Well-
Evil Dead to me.
It's like when he runs over the guy with the lawnmower, I was just like, hell yeah. And then the lawnmower attack scene and all that. It was just wild. It was just
It's like
I mean,
it was like the most blood ever used in a movie for a very long time
Until
very
Terrifier
crazy.
3. Fucking
until
stupid.
until Evil Dead,
Evil Dead.
remake.
Oh yeah, that movie was crazy bloody.
Yeah,
actually that's growing on me now, honestly. Like those are good movies. I'm starting to appreciate it a little more.
The Evil Dead 2013.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
The last time I saw it, I was kind of like, but man, I think about it every now and again. I'm like, gosh, that's a gnarly ass movie. And the new one, Evil Dead Rise, is my jam.
Oh, that movie sucked, dude.
That didn't
I need,
suck.
I need to rewatch that one, man. I didn't enjoy it.
I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
I liked it, but
Did you?
yeah, it's. I mean, I would probably put it.
Wait, how many
last
are out
in
right
there.
now? Hold on.
How many are out? How many?
Yeah, hold on. Are there 2 modern ones or 3?
Two.
2.
Two,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one with the mom and like the kids in the apartment building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't really care for that one, man. There's parts I like about it, but I was expecting it to be like super gnarly like the 2013 one, and I just didn't think that it was. I need to rewatch that one. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I thought it
I was
was.
not impressed by that one.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but also thought it was a tad forgettable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe it's not me. It just just the society itself has just kind of forgotten about it pretty quickly. Like it kind of came and went.
Well, 2013 is like one of my all-time 10 favorite horror movies. Like it's way
Well,
up there for me.
That's a
So,
high.
like,
That's a high bar then.
yeah. So like when I got this one, I was like, oh, it was all right. But again, I think I just want to rewatch it. I'll shut up about it and rewatch it, and then I'll complain later.
Yeah, I mean, it's a totally different type of movie. I don't think it's
Yeah.
aiming for the same extremity that the last one was.
Right. And it's hard to remove myself from that like thought process when I'm watching it. But
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like actively
right, though.
bad or anything. I want to go out and make sure I say that it wasn't like oh, it's terrible. I probably said that and I didn't really mean it, but I was very much expecting it to be like creepy, scary, dark, and bloody, and it was a couple of those, but it wasn't all of it. And maybe I need to just rewatch it because I do like the series, obviously. Right? It's fucking Evil Dead.
Yeah. For sure. Y'all want to talk about Terrifier?
Sure.
If y'all
I love
want to,
that
we
movie.
don't have to.
I mean,
Yeah, movie.
y'all all saw it. I didn't see it, but y'all go off if you want.
Do you care about spoilers at all, or you're not going to watch it at all, right?
No, y'all go for it. I've heard some stuff anyway. So
Okay. That movie's fucking awesome, dude. Like I've seen it twice and I've thought about it like a lot. I've talked about it with a couple of different people like in detail.
Mm.
And I'm very impressed by the amount of restraint that he has with like being offered millions and millions of dollars and being like, nope, I got an idea. I want to stick to my idea because his idea is fucking nuts. And it's DIY to the bone. It's punk rock to the bone. And it's exactly, if I was going to make movies,
Yeah.
that's what it would fucking be. I would literally make a movie that was just as crazy because I would do it just to get under people's skin. And I'm sure when he first thought of it, part of that was that. You can say all you want. No, I was trying to be artistic and I had a vision. Dude, part of that is being like, dude, this would be fucking crazy, huh? Let's see all these people squirm in their seats. Like, yeah, dude, that's kind of the part of it. And this one was no different. It was wild, man. It was a much better movie too. So, and Josh had said it in our text thread, like, yeah, money will do that. And I'm thinking like, yeah, I guess so, man. Like to a certain point, money's going to fix shit. And also, I guess there's a ceiling to that too, I would think.
well, it just opens doors.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Especially
and-
at that low of a budget.
And still, it's still only $2 million.
I was
I
thinking
think
that too.
I think I've been wondering kind of why I like it as much as I do, because I don't think it's something I would typically, really gravitate towards. But I think it has the right amount of like crazy gore, like Evil Dead 2013, but like something like the sadness that is like super serious and not that funny. That I didn't hate, but I really didn't care that much about it. But just
Yeah.
like this is
I
just
like
the right
that
amount
one.
of silly gore, craziness, and just I think watching it with the lens of $2 million, and I mean the first one going back to what, like 30 grand or 40 grand, like that.
$16,000.
Yeah, I mean
That's
like
fucking crazy.
nothing is made for that little money anymore. So I don't know. Yeah, part of it too is just what he's done with those budgets and just the kind of thing he's created. It's just cool.
Like that's kind of where I sit on it. Is like it's like my favorite franchise. Period, hands down, bar none. I don't even care if it's quote unquote good or not. I like it. I also like shitty recorded punk bands. I don't care if people like them or not. It's what I like. And I can appreciate gloss and high quality, but like I like what I like. And to be able to watch this dude have like a dream, it's inspiring me right now. To this day, this chair, this podcast with you guys, to keep plugging it in, keep doing it, keep working. I'll never get to that level, I don't guess, but like I know I can do shit that I want to do based on the fact that he's doing this. If that guy can accomplish this with that shit, I can do anything, bro, because I work just as hard as anybody I know. So, it's cool for different reasons, and I also just really liked it. I thought it was I mean, I'll be real honest, man. The first time I watched it, I have never in my life questioned my like how I parent my kids and like the shit that I like until this movie.
I watched your reaction with Bricken, and I could tell you were kind of like you were a little bit in shock, like you were kind of questioning like what you even thought.
Yeah, and I was questioning, but then I've since sat down and talked to him about it, like a grown ass man, dude. And even he came in today when I was talking to Kenna, and I was like, "Hey, you want to say hi to Kenna and like give your thoughts?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he said something about the writing. Like he was like, "Yeah, blah blah blah," but the writing made it better for this and that. And he's addressing stuff like that. Shit, I don't even fucking look at, man. And I'm like, dude, he's good, bro. He's more mature than I am. He's told me flat out, like, no, man, that wasn't near as scary as Black Christmas. Black Christmas could really happen. This shit's fake. And I'm like,
yeah.
Good for you, man. And but like looking at like from in hindsight, I'm glad I don't try to get Charlie to come in and be part of the club. No, dude, she's not that person. She's not. She's just not. And I don't think she might never be. He is. I can already tell that this is his shit, bro. Dude, he was like 9. He was like, Insidious is the best. I'm like, that's crazy, bro. You're fucking 9. The movie's scary as shit for a 9-year-old. But like, it's really cool, man. And I thought that the acting was better, the story was better, the pacing was better, the gore, fucking shockingly, was more intense and better. And I thought there was some really, really, really funny stuff. I thought that Art the Clown is more dynamic. He's meaner. That at the addition of Vicky to the scene, she was nasty, bro. And I mean like mean, nasty, fucking evil, mean shit, dude. And like, I like the fact that they went for it with shit that you're like, there's no way they're going to do this. And then they're like, oh yeah, check out this kid's arm. Look, it's flopping around. Like, oh, that's a torso of a 7-year-old. You're like, holy fuck, dude. Like, what am I watching right now? Like, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's what this does. It pushes the envelope, dude. Like, what do you think that they were saying back when The Exorcist came out? I can't fucking believe they had this little girl pissing on the floor and spinning her head around and puking everywhere. That's what people were saying.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's just that in 2024. And I'm just shocked. I'm shocked by it. I'm proud of it. I'm happy for him. And I'm also a little bitter because it used to be my thing. It's no longer my thing. It's everybody's fucking thing now. So
yeah, I'm kind of shocked at how popular it is.
I'm fucking blown away.
Like Clay's sitting there rolling his eyes, like, yeah, I don't get it. But like,
oh, did you not like it?
To an extent, I don't really get it either.
No, you didn't like it at all.
I
knew you weren't gonna. I was a little
I wouldn't
surprised
say at all.
It.
I just, go ahead, Chris.
No, it's kind of crazy. It's still a low budget B movie that's just kind of broken the barrier to mainstream a bit. So it's
it's the fucking exception, not the rule. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's weird, dude. It's such an anomaly. It's a fucking weird, perplexing fucking situation. Like I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, can't wait for it to go back to where it was, where I can just have my little thing again. But I want these guys to be bazillionaires because people like that never make it. It's such a weird thing. But I mean, in that one movie, we got Black Christmas, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, all wrapped up into one fucking movie. plus it was like ultra gory, plus it was DIY, plus it was not rated. They didn't take none of the shit from the people. They told the he didn't even know. I listened to an interview. Damien Leone didn't even know how you get your movie to the ratings board. That's fucking
So-
awesome, dude. That's badass, dude.
Why then does he not have any female nudity?
Bro, I don't
Like,
fucking know. I mean, he had
I'm
some in the
saying,
first
like,
movie.
I couldn't really. I'm like, why is he dodging that? Like, almost kind of deliberately.
Well, you know, he did. Sorry.
I wonder if it was like because he was trying to adjust down for like movie theater entry and ratings, so that so that the movie wasn't totally like, no, we can't play this now. Like, it's
Dude, I just don't think he gives a shit about that.
Maybe
I just
not.
don't think it's something. I mean, honestly, dude, no disrespect to anybody. Maybe he's gay. Fuck, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know him, so I don't know. But maybe he's just not interested in that because the first movie had female nudity. The second one almost had it. It basically could have had it. Lauren Rivera was in the shower, basically with no clothes on. You didn't see a full frontal of anything.
I mean, same thing here, but there was still
Yeah.
like,
So I mean,
very deliberately.
Maybe he just happens to find actresses that just don't want to.
And
So
I'm
he-
fine with that. Like, totally cool. I'm just saying, like, I was questioning if he was trying to like be like, no, I can't have that because I have all this other shit.
no,
I don't think
And
so.
it won't get movie play.
Now I don't know.
I
I don't know what his reasoning behind this is, but he has publicly said more than once that they'll never have a scene of SA.
Oh, really?
But he'll like hurt children and shit in his movies, but he won't do that.
Yeah.
So he must have like a personal. I bet it has to do with his family. I know. I think he said he was brought up with a mom and a sister and no dad around too, if I remember that correctly. So it might just be like a personal thing. Like I know that, like if it were me, there's a few things that I wouldn't show in a movie. Now it wouldn't be female nudity. I don't care about that. I don't care. You could put dicks in a movie. It doesn't matter to me. I think that shit's hilarious. I'm a
This
child.
has dicks in it.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious, dude. I was laughing my ass off the whole time that shit was happening. But like,
that's funny.
there's just like a bunch of like really, I don't know. Everything about it was just like improved quality, but it's still like my style of movie.
Yeah.
I at some point, I hope that Josh just gets a wild hair up his ass and watches it. I don't think you're gonna really like it, but I just genuinely, when I left the theater, I was so bummed out knowing that you had no interest in it because I was like, fuck, dude, that was a better movie. If I could rewind and have you not watch 2 and then watch 3, I would, because it's a way better movie. And it was so much more, it was paced better. The 20 extra minutes you get from not having, 2.5 hours, fuck, bro. It kind of flew by, honestly. I all of a sudden, boom, the last part's happening. And you're like, holy shit. Like, and that's not how I felt in the second movie.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I believe it. I'm sure it's a much better
But-
quality made movie.
Yeah.
But it is like
But it's still a B movie.
everything that I've heard about it. I mean, I don't care if it's a B movie. I like B movies.
I mean, B movies can have good acting too, but
it is doing the Terrifier thing, just raising the ante a little bit, right? It's not trying to really break the mold in any way. It's not really like trying to add any like real story or character or anything.
Well, no, that's where I disagreed. That's where I
You
disagree.
didn't even
I
have
think
to
they
see the movie to see that, to understand that. That's my biggest gripe too, man. It's
What?
like,
I'm
like
speaking from a point of ignorance because I didn't see it.
No, I know. I'm
but
shocked that
I
Clay
think
said
it's
that. I
like
thought it was way more
the
complex.
same to me. I felt like it was just more of the same, and I was kind of like, all right, now we're just cutting the head off again, and oh, there goes the balls. Like it just I'd already seen it 2 movies, and I hate being like that type of consumer where I'm like, show me something I haven't seen, That's
But
how I felt in the movie.
that's an ask that we're never going to get, though. How many times do we go to a movie and we're hoping it's something we've never seen? I mean, almost never do we get something that we haven't seen before. So, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, you're going to be disappointed more often than not. Which maybe you are. I don't know.
I'm just
honestly,
saying, like,
probably are.
from the franchise, like it's losing a bit of that dynamic to me, I guess.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought that the story was way fucking better in this. But
I see what you mean, and like I think it is picking up the pieces a little bit from the second one. That I think he saw enough probably complaints and negative about the story that I think he did it as well as he possibly could. And say I went in not expecting too much of the story stuff, but I felt like he did as much as he possibly could to like tie the things together with her dad and the sword and a couple of others.
Oh, he's finally a demon. Like, well,
Yeah, it's not nothing you haven't seen before. But yeah,
Yeah, but like I don't know, the character was a little more complex at this point. I mean, you get to learn a little bit more about her. You get to learn a bit about her father, but it is still a over the top gory slasher. Like when Hugh said he was going to go see it, I almost said, "Dude, don't go watch this. Like you're going to fucking ruin it for me."
I
Like
have
I
to. I've
knew,
seen all three of them, and that's why I don't really want to sit here and shit on it because I know it's your
yeah.
favorite thing. So
No, it's
I
okay. I'm
won't.
just giving you a hard time because you're my buddy. But
Yeah,
like,
no, no, no.
it's
But
I
I
was like,
mean,
oh, he's not going to have a good time if he watches
straight
this.
up. I mean, I did for a while. I think it was my personal experience too. Like there were kids that weren't even past my waist in that movie, and I was
That's
kind of
fucking
like,
wild.
I was just like, dude, I don't see like I don't want to be that old kind of fuddy duddy dude who's like, oh, you know, kids in the movie, but like, and everybody's different, you know. I grew up watching crazy stuff, and you did too, and we're fine, I guess. But like,
Fine.
but
yeah,
like,
I mean,
I was just like, man, come on.
and Bricken was in there with us, and he was laughing at all the stuff and like having a good time. But
It
he's
wasn't
what?
crazy scary. I mean,
No.
I went to
I
the
will say
bathroom.
this, man. Sorry, go ahead.
I went to the bathroom. There were some little kids that were in the bathroom. They're like, "It's not scary. It's not scary." I was like, "Yeah, maybe." You know, yeah, they were fine. They were fine.
I mean, this probably sounds ridiculous to most people, but I would let him watch that before I let him watch Deadpool Wolverine. That's just my personal, I think you form habits when you're young, and I'd rather my kids understand that's a stupid, ridiculous movie, and maybe to have the desire to do some practical effects work in their lifetime, then fuckity fuck. Deadpool was so hard for me to watch, and I curse a lot. It was like, dude, this is a little ridiculous. So the way Josh feels about the violent stuff is exactly how I felt in Deadpool Wolverine about the way they talked, because it was like, dude, this is a Marvel movie, man. Like I get it, it's rated R. I understand that. Good
And you're
grief, dude.
cool.
Chill a
You're
little
sick.
bit, man. Like, chill a little bit. Little kids want to go watch this. Little kids may want to watch Terrifier, but it's still a bloody, gory horror movie, and that's well known. You're putting the Marvel name on it. You got to understand that some, like, little, dude, there were like 4-year-olds watching that shit. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
like big families all over the place.
Yeah, there were little kids. I remember the first Deadpool movie. Like there were little kids in it.
Yeah, so like it's
what are
all
little kids doing here.
It is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I felt like the old fart head doing that shit too. I was like, man, this is ridiculous. Why are you letting your kids? But I do the same thing to a degree. It's all a personal choice. But I'd rather my kid watch something like horror movie style than go to school and be like, fuck you to his teacher. And it's like, oh, well, I heard it in the movie you took me to. He's not going to go in school and fucking cut somebody up with a chainsaw, I hope. But like, like I find that super hard to believe. But kids will start talking like that. And it's, we listen to, Lil Peep and Juice WRLD, King Von. You listen to this drill music out of Chicago. It's like, what's the difference, man? It's all the same shit. Listen to the words they're saying. You got to be an active parent, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of that. So I feel like our kids are going to be all right, but there's a lot of people that don't.
That's what kind of makes me kind of sad a little bit. Is I'm like, okay, what's next, right? If we go from,
dude, I've thought of that too.
You go from what's the name of the rap group? I used to listen to them all the time. NWA. You go from like NWA to like more and more and more messed up stuff. When I was a kid, that was like, oh my god,
right?
Now
it's tame.
So we have Terrifier gore that's just like completely off the chain, and that sets a standard, just like you mentioned, The Exorcist. Bean spew set a standard. So like this is the new standard. Now what's next? Like, are we gonna?
So I genuinely think that this is gonna be kind of a one-off, dude. I think people are fascinated by it, but I do think that the general public is not gonna fucking stand for it. I know that the movie ratings board is probably not with it. So like I do think that there's going to be, like Josh said, some knockoffs that come out, and I do think there's going to be some people try. I think they're going to fail. I do think that this is going to be the exception, not the rule. I don't think it's going to happen. I hope, because I thought that too. I thought like, man, if this becomes the norm, we're in some real fucking trouble, because I don't want it to be the norm.
I do think that, like, for all those reasons you mentioned, like both you and Chris, like I think that is why people should see this movie, though. Is like support the whole DIY.
That's the problem. Is I want them to support the DIY thing, but
Yeah, and I do think this is a little bit lightning in the bottle too, because I mean, it wasn't Damien like a special effects guy before he started making the movie?
Yeah.
So that clearly shows that he freaking knows what he's doing with the practical effects.
Oh, that's why he could do it on such a low budget.
Yeah,
Right.
so I don't think anybody's going to be able to come in and replicate what he did, and yeah, no studio is going to put money behind something. I mean, maybe one of them's going to take a chance and try, but
Well, they even talked to Damien about this movie, and they offered him millions and millions of dollars. That they said, all we want to do is we want to take out like 10 minutes of the movie. And when they told him the parts, he was like, no. And they said they wanted to take out part of the first part and then a few key scenes, but they wanted to call it just Terrifier. They wanted to rebrand, start from scratch, start from here. And he was like, what? He's like, I don't need, he's like, I did all the work already. I don't need that. He's like, I don't need your money. I did all the work. He's like, what you want to do is you want to take all my hard work and you want to rebrand it and make a bunch of money off of it. He goes, but that takes away, because even though people like Josh don't like this movie, I guarantee you appreciate what he did. And so
absolutely,
that takes away from all that. If he goes and sells out to these big companies, even I'm going to be like, well, I'm done with Terrifier and I'm just going to sell all my shit and move on to something else. Like straight up. That's what I like about it.
And don't be surprised if that day comes one day. Like when he's done his thing and he's like, well, this is my property. And then it's like George Lucas, like, well, I'm done with Star Wars. Like, here, Disney, do what you want with it.
I do think that's I'm okay with that. Because he's not done with it yet, and I think he said that I think I want to wrap up with 4 because I don't want to overstay my welcome. And if he comes out with 4 and then he says, yeah, I'm done, I'm out, and then sells it, go for it, bro. I don't care. I will be a fan of 1 through 4 at that point. Just like there's old heads that are fans of the original trilogy is their only shit. I will be that guy. I will become the guy that I thought I would never become. But I'm okay with that. You know, it's a movie that's not for everybody. I do wish everybody would buy a ticket just so they can get paid. But like, I think he's probably doing pretty good right now. I'm proud of him, and I don't even know the guy. Like, it's just something I look at, and I'd really get a lot of hope from this scenario. But I also do see a lot of things where I'm like, that shit is what. Like, I don't think people should be watching it. I don't know. Do what you want, really. It's so hard for me to figure this out because I'm also a special occasion type thing. Like, my kid is different. He's been around this shit since he was a little bitty, and like he's it's a little different. So do what you want. I'm not judging anybody. Well, I am, but whatever.
I do think that statistic you shared though, it beat Joker for this past weekend, like its opening weekend. You sent us that news clipping. What was it like? Terrified did 18 million and Joker did 7. I tried to cut that up and be like, no, it's not. But man, when you really get down to brass tacks, 18 million on an opening weekend that's no small potatoes for Terrifier.
For a movie of this budget, and it like, dude, you're competing with Joaquin Phoenix, Todd Phillips, and Lady Gaga, and you went smack. Now, part of it is that movie is ass, right? Sure. But on name value alone, people are going to go, what's out? What's this Terrifier? I don't care shit about that. Well, let's go see Joker, I guess. You would assume that people would do that, but like, dude, I was out.
The buzz was so bad on that movie that it drove people away from it.
And it's still only its second week, so it's not like it's 5th or 6th or 7th.
Right.
Week.
That was kind of my thought.
Huge drop for a second week of a giant, like a $200 million movie with Warner Brothers behind it. It's probably put another $200 million just in the marketing for that.
And meanwhile, Damien Leone is like $2 million. That was awesome.
And that was a marketing budget for Terrifier 3. Probably not much. I didn't see like a bunch of trailers.
It was all word of mouth, dude. It was all word of mouth.
It's all grassroots. Like,
dude, I was in fucking Las Vegas and I saw so many people with Terrifier shit on. It blew my fucking mind. I'm like walking around. I'm like, holy shit, there's a Terrifier shirt. Well, there's 4 fucking more. I was like, all right, never mind. I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, like Spirit Halloween is selling like animatronic stuff. Wow. And
did you see that David Howard Thornton got in full makeup and then went to Spirit Halloween and then posed as the animatronic thing? And then when people would go to it, he was scared the shit out of him. I thought that was awesome.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
he's the perfect like dude and character to be doing that too.
Well, like, how perfect is all this, dude? It's like the perfect thing for somebody like David Howard Thornton. It's the perfect thing for Damon Leone. Lauren Lavera's finally getting like a star role she probably would have never got otherwise. Like,
She was looking good in this movie too.
oh, dude, she reminded me of my wife so much in this movie. It's unfucking believable, man. Like, just her, like her aura, her shit, her personality. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, because it does remind me of her. Even the bedroom, like Wizards and Dragons and shit. I was like, that's what. Even Bricken was like, "Hey, Mom would love that bedroom." I was like, "Yeah, for sure." But you know, I mean, they all got. I mean, dude, you know where she comes from, right?
I don't.
Dude, sketch comedy with Shane Gillis.
Really?
Yes, that's where she comes from. That's where she got her start. Was
That's
doing like she's friends with Shane Gillis.
I didn't.
Y'all didn't know? I thought you did know that. Maybe I didn't. I thought maybe I brought that up before. I guess not. But yeah, like she's, you know, they all got this like opportunity, man. And like that little boy that was Elliot, whatever his name is,
Elliot,
like that kid's cool as shit, man. And like, but like this one project was like the perfect little thing for these people to catapult them into like some financial security. I know it's a weird thing to talk about when you're talking about this gory movie, but like, I mean, no disrespect, but did you think David Howard Thornton was going to land this fucking huge role at the age he was? Like, highly unlikely, you know? So I think it's really great that he got this opportunity and he just said, fuck it, took it and ran with that shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, good for them, man. I mean, it's awesome.
I have huge respect for it, for sure.
Yeah. It is very strange, though, that it exists in this weird bubble that people are like, talking to like 50-year-old people at my shop, and they're like, oh, yeah, I went to go see this Terrifier movie. I couldn't make it through it. I'm like,
Oh, really?
yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of people, but yeah, that was one conversation that I had on Sunday.
Had to
Like,
go see what all the fuss was about.
pretty much, dude. Like, I mean, the first viewing, but I was really lucky. I saw it twice, and both times there was less than a dozen people in each room. But in the first one, 25% of the people left. The 3 people just got up and said, "Fuck, I'm done," and they just left.
I think this is like a first Terrifier encounter for a lot of people.
That is
Like, they have a
crazy,
lot of
dude. That's fucking bananas to me, dude.
I think yeah, that's why I mentioned in our text thread, like, I'm kind of surprised by the audience score, because I had a
Right.
feeling that people were just like, I keep hearing all this stuff about Terrifier. Let me go watch the new one.
Woo.
And then I just assume a lot of people would just walk out halfway through and be like, that shit was.
Well, you could have just said that
Terrible.
from the second one, because people went and watched the second one, not go and watch the first one.
Yeah.
And they still went and see the third one. So I guess there's
Or
a
you
little
could
bit
go
of
like me
both.
and just like out of curiosity.
and then hate it. hate it every time.
Well, I still want to go see it again. I want to go. I'm probably going to go see it maybe Friday. I want to try to see it with a crowd, because both times there was no crowd, and I would like to see it with a crowd if I can. I guess Bricken probably want to go if I go again. So I don't know if I have the time for all of that, but
Yeah, I can see this being like a like an Alamo watch party type of thing where
I would avoid that with a fucking
yeah. I would too. But
I mean, not only that, but I have this like seething hatred for that place now. So
yeah,
probably...
I'm just saying I could see it living on as something that people would just go see, like freaking Rocky Horror Picture Show or
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Like that. They just go and laugh and, you know, point out all the kills and stuff like that. And
it's a grindhousey cult movie for sure.
Yeah. I like the. Did you have any parts that stuck out to you that were solid, Clay, or did you just overall just weren't nothing?
Yeah, no, I mean, chainsaw to the balls, chainsaw to the ass. I thought it, like, there was a point in time where the initial 5 minute, first 15 minutes, you get past that, and I was kind of like, when there were some kills here and there, it wasn't really blowing my mind until that bathroom scene.
The first 10 minutes were a little disappointing for me, honestly, but
But I mean, it was wild, man. I mean, it wasn't bad. I think the what's her name, the Sienna chick. I don't know her name.
Laura Lavera.
Laura Lavera. Like I thought she did very well. Like she brought the screen sort of some fresh looking life when it was just blood, gore, art, demons, terrible shit, and then Laura shows up, and I'm like, thank God, right?
Yeah, she's actually a pretty good actress. Like she can go on and be in all kinds of other stuff.
I think so too. I think she got a nice little good luck here and was able to showcase her skills, because she was able to really bring the heat with this one, man. She did, like, she was convincing, is my point. Like the other one, she was just like this cool character. And I was like, okay, that was cool. And then this one, you're like, oh damn, she's got some fucking some baggage, dude. She's got some PTSD going on now. And I mean, yeah, dude, I really like this. The bar scene was my favorite part of the whole movie, though, where they go in.
Sounds pretty funny.
And Clint Howard's in there, and they're like sitting at the bar,
yeah.
and he's talking to they keep calling him Clowny, and he's like, "Oh, come on, Clowny," and then he pisses in that dude's lap, and then they start getting into a fist fight over it, and he's like pointing and laughing at the guy, and then he pulls out a gun and just blows that dude's brains out, and you're like, "That's what I'm talking about!" Like stuff that's unexpected, and then he's like, uses the what's that shit called, Chris?
The liquid, it's the liquid nitrogen machine.
And he like freezes this dude, but in parts, and then starts breaking the parts off. And it's like really, really well done visually. Like you're like, oh, that's fucking gross. And then when the guy's face is all broken half, his eyes still moving. It was just like, and he rams the carrot. It was just awesome, dude. Fucking.
They showed that close up of his face all mangled with a carrot nose like 3 times. I was like, yeah, well, they're not afraid to show that shit more than once, are they?
Right, dude. Like when that dude's hand, when he put his hand up and it got cut off like through the palm,
yeah,
and it like fell off. It looked so good. I mean, terribly gross, but like so. I was like, "Fuck, this is awesome." That girl sitting there, dude. When that blonde chick's like, "I want to feel what it's like to be close to that kind of evil, and I want to look in his eyes." I'm thinking like, "Oh boy." Well,
yeah,
I know it's happening to you.
Yeah,
like,
you're about to get it.
I hated that girl. I was so happy when she got brutally murdered.
And she kept asking people to be on the podcast and stuff.
Oh god, dude, that was Courtney Cox and David Arquette, bro. That was Scream right there.
She was fine as hell.
Oh
Yes, man.
Really?
She had it all.
Her fucking face looked like she looked like somebody punched her in the fucking face and it went boom.
The blonde who got killed
ugly
horribly?
as fuck, dude. That girl's ugly.
Oh.
She's pretty hot.
What?
I know she's not your type.
No. It must be
She's
me.
got blonde hair.
I'll take it. This is me.
I mean, her personality sucks. So
It so sucked. Okay, I'm looking her up real quick. Yeah, no, she's not. I don't think this girl's hot at all.
I think
Josh, I need you to weigh in, sir.
Yeah, I think she's hot.
Really? Okay, it's just me.
I don't know who you're talking about, but yes.
Like, I just think she looks funny, dude. Her face looks funny. Like, yeah, she looks funny. I don't know.
Man,
but I mean, I like
not
plain brown hair chicks, so whatever.
Not to switch gears too much, but I did watch Speak No Evil at the movie theater.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought it was pretty good.
Fuck, whatever. You can like bad movies. That's fine.
It wasn't the first
Everyone
one, for
else,
sure.
everyone else I've heard has pretty much liked that movie, Randy. So,
of course, we have a bunch of fucking pussies that we talk to about movies. The movie sucks, dude. It was awesome until the last 15 minutes, man. These movies just ruin the ends, dude. They don't know how to stick a landing, dude. I'm so sick of cowardly fucking filmmakers, dude.
You didn't
maybe
even like the original very much, did you?
I
remember you talking...
like it, and then it being a good movie or two different arguments. But I went in there expecting it to be like that. So when it wasn't like that, I was like, that was weak. It just seems very cowardly to me, very spineless.
Is that just expectations, though?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Don't
never
care.
seen either, so
It was fucking stupid, man. It was dumb. Although I will say, I thought like they wasted a good character, man. Like I thought he did a really great job as that character.
James McAvoy?
Yeah,
He did a good job as a character. Damn.
No,
straight.
like he was. I was so as we're watching it, I watched it with two people from Alamo. One was like leaving for the Marines, and he called me. He was like, "Hey, you want to go watch this movie?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I would love to go hang out with you one last time before you leave." Right. So I went and watched it with him and this dude Partis, and we're sitting there, and I don't want to ruin like the movie. I'm not gonna tell you like plot points, but we're watching it, and I was getting excited because they were like going for it a little bit, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is really gonna be like an actual good remake." And then I was like watching, and then at a certain point in the movie, I just was like, "Oh no!" And I just saw like 3 or 4 key things that happened that I was expecting to be like big giant reveals and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, they changed some stuff," and then they changed. Like at the very beginning of the movie, something is different, and I was like, "That I think that's important that they changed that. That might be for some reason," and it absolutely was for a reason, and it was a bad reason to me. And I was like, "Oh man," because like I just don't understand why you take a movie that new that was mostly in English and then repackage it with James McAvoy for what? So that you can give it an ending that isn't true to the story? Like I don't understand that. So,
but isn't it better though if you're gonna remake a movie to do your own spin on it and not just make the
Well,
same
then,
movie again.
if that's the case, then don't make the movie 85% the same and then just fuck up the ending. Make a different movie. Call it the same thing. Make it, or maybe like base it around the same idea or something.
Yeah.
I understand that. Like a reimagining, I understand.
Mhm.
But a remake is supposed to be a remake. It's just like people that watch like Friday the 13th, 2013, or whatever it was. It's terrible because it's a remake and it's not as good as the original. I personally like that one, but like the Nightmare on Elm Street one, it's supposed to be a
We were talking
remake,
about
and it's
Evil Dead.
or Evil Dead. I like that, but a lot of people don't.
It's different.
So, yeah, so
It's different.
but whatever though. I thought McAvoy did an awesome job. I'll still support his movies and watch his stuff because I thought he did a really good job. But
Yeah, it's great.
and maybe on a different day I'll like it a little bit better. I watched what's that one that Hugh liked a lot with the lady in the back of her head. I have found myself watching that.
Sinister, Malignant.
Yeah, not Sinister. That's a good one. I like Sinister, but Malignant, dude. I have found myself watching that movie. I didn't want to tell you guys this. I've seen that movie twice in like the last 8 months, dude.
Whoa.
Like I know, dude. I still hate the ending with every particle of my body.
It's so good.
But
You're hard on endings, though.
I am.
You are very hard on endings.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of like what I like is a movie that wraps up in a way that makes sense to me. And like when they wrap up in a way that is just completely ridiculous to me, I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. So whatever, though. I mean, I also don't pay attention to stuff like, I don't listen to the score in a movie very often. I have to like really pay attention to it and like actively listen for it. And cinematography isn't really my thing. I've come to appreciate it more in the past few years, but like,
yeah,
over the lifespan of me watching movies, that's never really been acting. I don't really give a shit. Screenplay, I just like silly fucking movies most of the time, right? But like,
well, I mean, that explains Terrifier because it's about the visceral thrills of the movie, and it's not about the story, and it's not about the
dude. It's funny because that's exactly right. Like all the stuff that you point out about movies,
right?
Honestly, it's
lacking
in Terrifier.
Yeah, the stuff that I care about. Like I like a good kill scene,
right?
I can enjoy that, but if it's just that, then it turns me off. I mean, for me, I don't want to get into Terrifier shit, but to me, I just don't like really mean-spirited stuff generally.
Well, this is mean-spirited for sure.
Yeah, and it's not my jam. Like sometimes I can get behind like a bleak movie, but I just don't. But it's just not my flavor. I
walked out of that movie theater and I was like, ugh. I was in a great mood when I went there.
Wait, which one?
Terrifier 3.
Oh, okay.
And when I left, I was just like, fuck this shit. I mean, I was in a bad
That's why I just can't have fun with it because it's just so mean. Like I can get behind a cool kill in a good movie, but if it's just
I definitely
the meanness is the fun.
This one's a good bit meaner than the other two.
It's way meaner.
And that's one of the big reasons I was just like, no, because I knew it was gonna do that. Yeah.
I don't often cringe at stuff and go, oh shit. But at one point, it's not even like super like imagery isn't really crazy in it, right? But Sienna is tied to this chair, and twice he walks by and smacks the living shit out of this girl, dude. I mean, like, what? And it just looked and sounded so real. I was like, oh, was that necessary? Like, I mean, they're cutting people's arms and fingers and shit off, but
that's what affects you.
Those were the few times I actually laughed out loud.
I definitely laughed at that too, but the first time I watched it, it caught me completely off guard, and I was like, "Oh, I can't believe they did that to her!" Like,
right?
Yeah,
but
smacking her upside the head.
That's the kind of thing that's like, ooh, why do they need to do that?
But then when they blowing up the kids with a hammer, it's all right.
Right? Yeah, blowing up a mall with children.
That part, dude. Me and Bricken. I watched him watch that.
Blew up the mall.
Yeah.
This kid opens up a Christmas gift and it just blows him into pieces.
They're doing a Santa thing, and he goes to sit on Santa's lap, and they explode.
Fun.
That shit's so funny, bro. What's in here for me? Kablooey. That's what. Yeah, dude. But like, yeah,
doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, I'm normally more on like Josh's side of this, but it's silly enough that I don't. I mean, shit. I was pointing out stupidity and freaking Revenge that we watched last week, but just this is just so silly and stupid. I feel
like everybody likes it. I feel like it's that's a cultural phenomenon right now.
Yeah.
Like,
It
I
is
feel like
very
you're in the
weird, man.
minority if you don't like it. Yeah.
Very, very strange. Well, I appreciate that Josh had the restraint to not go watch it and just take a dump all over it. And then I kind of appreciate Hugh watching it, even though I was really like, no. But I'm glad Chris enjoyed it, man. This was kind of like, honestly, this is a better experience than 2 because we went all together to watch 2 and you just didn't have a good time. Hugh didn't really care about it at all. Chris was kind of like lukewarm on it, and I had a blast. So this time was a way different experience. Like Hugh went separately. You didn't watch it. Me and Chris got to go see it together.
Yeah.
I liked it. You don't even care. Hugh was like, whatever. I paid to go support the guy. Like it just kind of feels like a better all around experience. But there's that little part of me that's like, I still want Josh to watch it one day, even though I really don't, because all you're gonna do is tell me how much you hated it. So
yeah, and maybe going with you helps my experience too.
Oh, bro, I had the best time, bro.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we all did go see it number 2, but
Right.
this one, it's whatever.
No, and that's the only reason I went to the second
Yeah,
one.
no, I had a lot of appreciation for that, man.
Yeah.
And that was why I watched it, because I wanted to like it for Randy so bad. Damn it, I wanted to like this movie.
Right.
I wanted to be one of the cool kids. And
maybe one day you'll watch it from a different perspective and be like, oh shit, it works. I mean, I've watched a lot of movies. I now like The Witch, and I thought for sure I would never like that movie. I really didn't think I would ever turn around that one because it was so boring to me. I mean, it's still very fucking boring, but somehow Josh has explained it to me enough times where I was like, oh, I think I get it now. So the one that I think I'll never like is the one that I don't understand why I don't like it so much. I mean, I get it, but I just can't get behind Hereditary, bro. I fucking try.
Oh yeah.
I've watched it so many times, and I hate that fucking movie, dude. Like,
so weird.
Yeah.
Of all the ones,
dude, everybody I know thinks that movie's like perfection, and I fucking can't stand it, dude. Like, I just don't like it. Although, right, the girl getting her head lopped off is probably the best part of that whole movie to me.
It's the most memorable part for sure. But if it was just girls getting their heads lopped off the whole movie, it wouldn't be that good.
Would be yes, then I'm in. It's just
masterpiece.
Right?
All right. Last thing before we go, I want to ask Chris, did you have a problem whenever Art was like bludgeoning this dude and then Vicky starts masturbating with that glass shard? Because
it definitely caught me off guard.
So I was talking to somebody and they were like, yeah, I didn't see that. Sorry, I can't even talk because I'm seeing Josh's face.
I'm just thinking my mom watches this podcast sometimes.
Oh, geez, Louise, I am so sorry.
I don't think she's gonna watch this.
You should, yeah, please don't. You should have told me that a long time ago, dude. I was all,
that's why I've never said it though.
Bro. Well, Mama Wingard, I apologize.
She didn't make it this far. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Good point. Dude, if my mom watched even 1 minute of this, I'd be so not happy with myself. Dude, my mom and my uncle once watched one of my other shows and I didn't know. And I went on this like long rant on this guy and I was talking about a lot of like narcotics and stuff. And they were just like, oh, I didn't know the extent of your knowledge on that subject. And I was like, you didn't? And she was like, and I was like, and then we just stopped talking about it. Never brought it back up. I was like,
God.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna go take a walk with my kiddo before I do this Offspring live stream. So
who's pick?
Yeah.
Oh shit,
yeah.
Whose pick is it?
Clay.
It's mine.
Oh fuck yeah.
We're gonna do Dinner in America. I want people to see this movie. I think it's a nice shifting gears from Terrifier.
That's the way to get Randy to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've mentioned it like 17 times.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh damn! I meant to watch this like 17 times.
Yeah.
Thank you for picking this because now I will actually get it watched.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I've heard about this as well. So
yeah, no.
Hey, if it's okay with you, Josh, this is one that I'll request the footage from.
Sure. No, I'll send it to you. No problem.
Yeah, it'll make a good like co-drop. I'm working on some editing techniques too. Maybe I'll throw something in that one.
Sounds good.
Awesome, dude.
I want to mention real quick. I kind of went on a little Mike Flanagan kick.
Come on now.
Watched the Midnight Mass show, and then I rewatched Doctor Sleep.
Okay.
And I just started watching Hill House, and and this is like the most like fun I've had watching a series of movies in a while.
Nice. That's awesome.
I feel like really
Shit.
inspired by this guy. Like I think he's awesome. I fucking loved Midnight Mass so much. I'm probably gonna watch it again soon.
Damn.
I thought it was
Man,
awesome.
I watched Hill House a couple times, and once
Yeah.
all the reveals are out, like it kind of loses a little oomph. But man, it's such a good show.
Yeah, I just watched the first episode last night. I'm probably gonna put on the second one when we finish. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just a normie, but I feel like he's just like got so much skill to his work. Like,
This is gonna sound stupid, but the fact that his last name is Flanagan, I'm drawn to him because that's my family name.
mhm.
And so like anybody with that name, I'm like, oh, like Harley Flanagan from Cro-Mags. I like him because his name, and it's also my uncle's name is Harry Flanagan, so it sounds funny. And I called him Harry Flanagan in a video once and had to like put in the bottom like in a little thing, like I can't believe I said that because that's not his name, it's Harley. But anyways, Mike Flanagan, I like him because of that.
You're the
But he's
most
a
Irish dude I've ever met. Like it, Flanagan, Patty. Like
It
it's
is
just all,
yeah,
the most Irish name. Yeah.
yeah, dude, we're definitely Japanese, bro. That is a fact. Fucking but hey, Josh, I appreciate you letting us talk Terrifier on your shit tonight. That was awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, of course. That was the.
I literally was making dinner tonight. I was like, I probably shouldn't bring up Terrifier. I don't think Josh wants to hear about
No,
it.
I fully like expected y'all to go off about it. That's part of the thing. Like whatever we've been watching.
That's rad.
Yeah. All right,
Dude,
well,
I'm excited for Dinner in America, dude. Thank you.
Dinner in
Dude, that's awesome, dude, man. Fuck yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, next week.